Talk with Chris and Travis. I'm Travis.
And I'm Chris.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video.
And don't forget to catch us on Instagram at Real Talk with Chris and Travis. So, today we're going to discuss fighting emotional stress and isolation when you have a disability. And so basically, I feel like, when you're disabled, these are two, in my opinion, these are two of the hugest hurdles that a person may face. Especially if you're somebody that wasn't born with a disability and then something caused you to have a disability.
Yeah.
Because people tend to, I know I've seen this in myself as a kid and I've seen this in other children. When you have a disability, most times you tend to want to fade into the background. You don't want to stand out. You kind of want to isolate yourself a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, I feel like these two things are a huge hurdle.
Yeah, a lot of times, man, like you said, you feel like you kind of want to fall into the background. You don't really want to be in the light or whatever, because you don't want people to, I guess, notice your disability or whatever. So
Absolutely.
You don't want nobody to ask you questions or just stare at you. So you kind of isolate yourself a little bit and just try to stay to the background, even though you can contribute and you have great things to say.
Right.
You just don't want to bring attention to it. So that kind of brings you to, I guess, emotional stress a lot of times, because you fear what could go wrong, I guess.
Yeah, and when you do that, it kind of makes you want to be less social.
Yeah.
But, the way God made us, we made to be social beings.
Yeah.
So if you decide to be less social because you're trying not to draw attention to, some sort of problem that you may have, it could make you, feel kind of stressed out.
Yeah, it could lead to frustration and, I guess, your self-esteem possibly.
Most definitely.
But I feel like you gotta just go for it, and just once you go for it, all that kind of fade away. You kind of feel like, oh, it's not so bad after all.
Right. It's kind of like the first time maybe when you're learning to swim.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You looking at the water from the outside of the pool thinking, if I get in there, something bad gonna happen.
I'm about to drown.
Right. But it's a hot day. It's 1,000 degrees outside. Your skin look like ice cream on the sidewalk. It's just melting. And then you step into that pool for the first time, and when that cool sensation hits you, you just, you mellow out. And then once you, get somebody that know how to, they know how to swim, or they teach you to swim, you start getting comfortable.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the best way to fight isolation, which I believe can lead to emotional stress, is just take that first step.
Yeah, because a lot of times, I don't know about you, but a lot of times, with having a disability, you see other kids doing things like when we were younger, and you try to do the same thing. It's like, oh, I can't do it like that. That kind of leads to frustration a little bit, and it kind of is like, man, I don't feel like I fit in.
Oh yeah, that's a good point to bring up. You know what I'm saying? Because I can remember my first time ever seeing a basketball court and seeing all the people running around on there playing, and it's like I wanted to go pick up a ball and shoot too because it looked fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, but I got 4 legs and they got 2. Even though the crutches are technically not my legs, but I just felt like I got 4 legs and they got 2, so I'll just stay over here on this bench in the corner and hope nobody don't see me.
Mm-hmm.
And that can it'll mess with your head.
Yeah. A lot of times you just gotta, like I said, once I started to talk to people, and they started to it's like the disability didn't really matter to them.
Right.
And the whole time I was thinking, oh, they got something to say about it, and it wasn't even like that. So I was pretty much in my own way for the most part.
And hey, that's to be expected. To me,
yeah.
That's to be expected, because if you've never been a person with a disability, then you don't know what the mindsets could be.
Yeah.
You don't know what it feels like until until you've been through it. And then once you've been through it, it's kind of like, well, from this point, I can either decide to stay in my shell or I can, come out and see how this world really is.
And it's, a lot of times, you just gotta put yourself out there. A lot of times, even with like dating, sometimes you might feel like, oh, ain't nobody gonna want to, want to date you or whatever, and and it's not really even like that. There's a lot of people out there with open minds that are, it doesn't even matter to them. It don't bother them at all. So I mean, it's just, I think it's a mind thing. It's
I think it is
sometimes
too.
your mind play tricks on you. You be thinking, it's like you got the good on one shoulder and the bad on the other shoulder, telling you, hey, this gonna go wrong, and the other one saying, oh, let's go for it. You never know.
Yeah. And see, I'm one that believes that a lot of the rules of business apply to life as well.
Yeah.
With business, there's no guarantee to know that your business plan is going to work.
True.
But you still got to believe in that plan and believe in yourself enough to at least try.
Right.
And it's the same thing with life when you're disabled. Yeah, you can lean on that you can play that card that I'm disabled and, I'm just going to keep my circle super small, or it's just going to be me. That way I don't wind up hurt. But then the way God got us wired is like, if you choose that route, you're not living.
Yeah.
You're basically destroying yourself before you even give yourself a chance. And you have to get out there and try so that you can know, you know what I'm saying? Because the fact of not knowing is going to make you live with I can't get my words together. The fact of not knowing is going to make you live with regret.
I mean, I feel like sometimes you gotta speak life into yourself, man.
Uh-oh, come on.
I do. I feel like you gotta speak life into yourself.
You over here preaching and stuff. Somebody get him a pulpit.
Nah, but I think you gotta speak life into yourself. Sometimes you gotta tell yourself, man, I am enough. I do have a purpose.
Yeah.
And I am, I'm here for a reason, and I can accomplish the things that I want to do in life,
Right.
And don't think about the disability, or, like I said, I like to call it differently able.
Okay.
You might not be able to do whatever it is, but you still have another way you can go after it,
And see, I believe in this too. Regardless of whatever your religion may be, you know what I'm saying? I believe that when you start moving, God will start adding things to your life.
Yeah.
So as long as you sit there in fear, like, well, I don't want to venture out. I don't want to, try to go meet people. I don't want to try to go over there and, actually pick up the ball and try to take a shot because they might tease me. But you never know. You might pick up that ball and take that shot and absolutely miss. But the fact that you stepped out there and took the shot made everybody's mouth drop. The fact that you actually got close enough and the ball hit the rim made everybody's mouth drop. And they bring you 2 balls and be like, man, we want to see you take another one. And you never know. That third shot might just drop the bottom of the net. And now everybody like, oh, I'm about to go shoot with him. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, your shot might be better than everybody else's shot. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like I remember back when I was younger, man, and I saw some dudes out there playing football on the street.
Mm-hmm.
So I went out there and just watched or whatever, and I saw they had some guy playing quarterback, and he kept throwing interceptions or whatever. So I was like, hey, let me be quarterback, but y'all can't tackle me though,
Right.
So they was like, they was looking like, I mean, how you gonna play quarterback and all this
And
stuff?
we can't tackle.
Yeah. I was like, y'all can just count to like 20 or something. Then after 20, you can, touch, and then that's like a tackle for me.
Right.
So they was like, all right. So they gave me the ball, and I threw it, and I was so accurate. It was like,
wow.
Dang. It's like, dang, okay. So after that game, they was like, man, every time you play football, you're gonna be all-time quarterback for both teams.
Both teams.
For both teams, you're gonna be all-time quarterback.
So you like the cheat code in the video game. The boy here all Madden out here.
So I mean, like, sometimes you gotta get out your own way and just go for it.
Right.
Like, I could have just stayed inside and just been like, dang, I want to go out there and see if they'll let me join. But I went out there and actually took the initiative and like, hey, let me show y'all what I can do.
Right. And I remember like in elementary school, I don't know how many people remember when your parents used to give you lunch money for the school every day. And like I love basketball so much, and even to this day, I still love basketball. And I remember, like, we would go, like, to PE, you know what I'm saying? And kids would have their lunch money in their pockets. And they would be betting other kids, like, man, I bet you going to miss this shot. You going to miss this shot. And so one day I'm sitting on the sidewalk, you know, kind of not on the basketball court, but next to it, because I love to watch them shoot ball and stuff. And one of the balls had rolled over by me. And so, you know, I picked up one crutch so I could balance myself, and I got the ball. And I just walked down, you know, to the end of the court where there was a goal. I was off, you know, to myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I had no idea that the kids had started watching me, and they was pointing and laughing and stuff like that. But then I had started hitting shots, but I was out there doing it with one arm, and they had never seen nobody do that.
Yeah.
So then other kids start coming up to me, man, I bet you gonna miss the next one. I bet you gonna miss the next one. So before I took the shot, I was like, you know, I'd be watching them tell the kids, put your lunch money on the ground, you know what I'm saying? So I told him, I was like, hey, bet your lunch money. And he was like, man, you gonna miss. So he threw his lunch money on the ground, and I hit it. I was like, you ain't gonna eat today. But I didn't want to be cold. I did give him his lunch money back.
Yeah.
But I also closed his mouth. Just saying.
Same thing with basketball, man. I was good at that too. I mean,
And he said he was. He means he is.
I mean, I am good. I am good at basketball.
Yeah, I've lost several shootout games to him. So
But I mean, yeah.
we're gonna cut that part out of the video. No. I'm just playing.
But yeah, man, I was out shooting able-bodied dudes. They didn't know I played on the basketball team though. I was playing on the basketball team after school.
Man, tell them about that time Steph Curry had pulled up on you, and you had. Oh no, that's okay.
But yeah, they didn't know that. I kept that a secret, and they didn't know when they played me that my shot was really that good.
They learned.
So I was always, every time we played basketball, I was always first pick. Always first pick, man. And I got somebody that still want to play me now. And that was years ago. I'm like, man.
But yeah, man, and see, you have to step out there and take that chance.
Yeah.
You know, for all my Bible believing, you know, Christian people, hey, you got to step out on faith. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We as human beings have no idea how life is gonna go every day. You know what I'm saying? You just got to look at every day as it's a blessing, it's a gift. Now, what you choose to do with each day, that's up to you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But just knowing the fact that whether you are disabled or not, God put breath in your body for this day. Now, what you do with the day, that's up to you. You know, but you got to do something with it. You know what I'm saying? And God gives you each day as a gift because we all got gifts. We all got talents. You know what I'm saying? We all got some type of ability. You know, regardless of disability or not. And you're supposed to do something with it. So, I mean, if you are a person who is disabled, and maybe this is new for you, don't isolate yourself. You know what I'm saying? Don't sit there and battle by yourself. Mm-hmm. Find somebody. You know what I'm saying? And you may have a rough time finding the right person to get you out of that zone, but don't give up on finding that right person.
Right.
See what I'm saying? Because once you find that person that you can confide in and tell them, hey, look, I'm disabled now and it hurts. I have a hard time dealing with this. That person is going to be able to help you change your mind. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you can't do it on your own. You know, me and Travis, we're a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? As far as going through that and actually being able to come out of that. Because it didn't take long for me in some areas. And in some areas it did. You know, and same for him. Like he said, he saw kids shoot, playing football. Hey, I want to play. Give me my turn. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people can't do that, is what I'm saying. You know, they kind of be fearful. You know, but like we both had said, if you take that first step and actually come out of there with the mindset that, you know what, I'm going to take this chance because this is something I really want to do, then you'll do it.
I mean, like I said, man, a lot of times with a disability, you can feel overlooked, or people not really paying attention to you. But like the two stories I just told of me going out there with the guys playing football and how I made them. Sometimes you got to make them believers, You got to make them believe. So sometimes you got to get out there and prove, hey, I'm worthy too.
you're gonna put me in the conversation whether you want to or not.
Right.
Because
you gonna notice me whether you wanted to or not. You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
I ain't going nowhere.
And see, and that's one thing that I find to be true is when you are a person with a disability and you go out into the world, you are gonna automatically attract attention whether you want to or not. But your response to the attention that you draw
Mm-hmm.
is gonna either encourage people or discourage people. And I have always, me and Travis both have always been people that wanted to be positive and stay positive. You know what I'm saying? And doing that has caused us to kind of widen our circles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where we have people that came to us and was like, "I want to hang out." Just like, "You want to hang with me?" Like, "Yeah, what you doing today?" "Well, I'm just over here hooping, but you're more than welcome. Welcome to grab a ball and shoot around." And then you get to talking to that person, and they see, "Oh man, you just as normal as me." It's like, well, yeah, what you thought?
What is normal?
Right.
Like, who's to say that that's normal and that's not normal? Like, what's normal?
Right.
In my opinion, I feel like normal is whatever you make it.
Right.
That's
And
what
I would assume that when people say you just as normal as me, it's like when they see, and I'm gonna just give this for an example because I had it happen to me a couple of times. I was told by at least maybe 3 people in my life that because they saw my legs and they never had a conversation with me, they automatically assumed that I had some type of mental disability on top of a physical disability.
Mm-hmm.
But then after seeing me do things and have conversations with other people, they was like, "Man, I thought you was kind of slow in the head when I first saw you moving, but it turns out like there's nothing wrong with you except your legs." And I'm like, "Well, yeah." Don't put your foot in your mouth. You see somebody, you curious, go talk to them, and that one conversation will tell you a lot.
Yeah.
Or you can watch them like a movie and learn something. I don't
know. I think people are overly sensitive these days. I feel like they are afraid to ask questions, or they may think it's rude to ask. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe some people with disabilities may not like the questions, or they may think it's rude or whatever. But I feel like it's always good to just ask, just try it, just the way how you come off for the most part.
Yeah.
I think it's rude to just sit there and stare.
That is most definitely. And I had to think about what you just said, because let's say somebody's able-bodied, but they come across somebody who is disabled, but because the person is disabled, they have a bad attitude all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if that's your first interaction with somebody who's disabled, you may assume that all disabled people are going to be offended if you ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
But until you come across a disabled person who says, "You can ask all the questions you want, it doesn't bother me," that's how you learn.
Yeah.
Then you have a different outlook because you've dealt with 2 different types of people.
Stereotypes, that's all it is. It's stereotypes.
Exactly.
It's kind of like what you see on TV. You may think certain people act a certain way when it's really not the case.
Right.
Everybody doesn't act that way. So you just gotta, I guess, go up and ask, get to know that person, and don't just assume, oh, like you were saying, they thought you had a mental problem because your legs. That's not the case. I feel like a lot of times that's what you see on TV.
Yeah.
The person with the disability is always the person with some type of mental issue when it's not even the case.
Yep.
There are a lot of us that function well, that work and live on our own and live a regular life,
Yep.
So I mean, it's good to just ask and not assume.
Most definitely. Because if you just assume stuff, you might get embarrassed. And I don't mean to come off rude when I say that, but you approach a person that you think has a mental disability because he or she is physically different from you.
Yeah.
And so you go up to them and you're like, "Hey, somebody told me to come and talk to you because you know about this stuff, but I don't really know how much you know. So I'm just going to speak slowly so you can understand me. I was trying to find out about your TVs." The TVs? And I'm going, just staring at them.
Yeah.
And then they go to turn around and walk away. And they like, "Man, I was talking to him, but he didn't respond." And so the person who sent them over to her comes over to me and they like, Chris, she wanted to know, she's trying to buy a TV. And I'm like, oh, okay. Hey, what size do you need? Are you interested in the Samsung or the Vizio? The Samsung is a little bit better brand, but the Vizio is a cheaper brand, but it has Samsung parts on the inside, and I'm going into everything, all the details and stuff, and she's like, and I'm just like, hey, close your mouth, somebody fly in it. You know what I'm saying?
Like, how does he know that?
Why you ain't tell me all of this when I first came to you? Because you assumed that I was slow, so you started talking to me and treating me like I'm slow, so therefore, I just speak slowly.
Yeah, I mean, I think sometimes you gotta take the good with the bad, man. That's how it is, you know. But I mean, like I said, you gotta sometimes you gotta prove people wrong.
Yeah, you know? Most definitely.
That's all it is.
And you know, like I said, like we both said, if you are a person who is newly disabled, or you're a person that's been disabled, you know, your whole life, we all gonna face some hurdles. And dealing with emotional stress and isolation is two of the biggest things that you're gonna face in life. So if you are facing these hurdles, the first thing to remember is, number one, you're not by yourself. You're not the only one on the planet who ever went through this. Mm-hmm. So if other people went through it and they got through it, you can get through it too. You know, number two, find somebody, even if it's just that one person, that can help you to overcome these hurdles. I had to give a third point. My third point would be, the only thing that beats a failure is a try. Mm-hmm. And in life, we're not built to fail. I'm sorry. You're gonna fail, but we built to keep trying. Yeah. So just keep trying.
Yeah, I know a lot of times, you know, if you're a person that's newly disabled, I mean, I know that can be a tough pill to swallow, you know, because
right.
You going from something that you were been doing your whole life, and then all of a sudden, boom, I gotta depend on people to do certain things, maybe to reach things to me, or whatever the case may be.
Right.
You know, I know sometimes that can be a hard pill to swallow, but I mean, you just gotta keep going. You know, keep fighting the good fight. You know, but I mean, like I said, the way you gotta put yourself out there and just don't think too much. Don't be in your own way. Get out your own way. Oh yeah, and you know, let us know how you feel. You know, what do you do to get out your own way and do to beat emotional stress and social isolation?
Yeah, so y'all let us know in the comments, man. And we'll be back next week with another video.
Yeah, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video.
And we out.
Drop the Instagram.
Oh, man. I forget every week. No, sorry, y'all. Don't forget to catch us on Instagram at Real Talk with Chris and Travis. And we got an email address. It's realtalkwithchrisandtravis@yahoo.com. You can also catch us on TikTok under the same handle as everything else, Real Talk with Chris and Travis. And we out.
Oh, yeah. Stay tuned. Peace.